Hey guys, John Grimsmo here, back with another Shop Life, at it again. So today we're going to finish up that topside fixture. We're going to make a set of handles. It's the last day of the month. I promised I'd have a rasp ready to sell by the end of today, and I won't. But this push helped me really push and make a lot of progress that I would not have made otherwise. So I'm really close. That's good. Get to the end of the month, super duper close. So while that's doing a warm up, I got a fun box to unbox. So a few weeks ago, my daughter Claire and I put up a video about 3D printing at home, and I got a lot of great feedback from it, including one guy emailed me, Parker from pepcorp.ca. They're in Windsor, Ontario, so they're a Canadian, and this guy's in college and he's building his own 3D printing empire. He's actually designing his own machine, and he wants to make hundreds, if not thousands of them for his own use for production 3D printing. Very cool guy. Anyway, we've been chatting a lot back and forth, and turns out he has an old Prusa Mark II printer that he doesn't need anymore or want anymore, so he sent it to me because he's designing his own now and making his own, so he doesn't need this one anymore. And I've been in the market for a Prusa. I've been putting it off and wanting one, and not wanting to spend I guess like 800 bucks for a new one, and I'm cheap sometimes, not always, but sometimes. But anyway, yeah, through chatting, he's like, we don't use this one anymore. I'd love to send it to you. And I was like, dude, sweet. So he actually felt bad about all the packing peanuts, but he's like, I have them already. They're garbage otherwise. Let me put them to use. And how do I package this thing without disassembling it, this printer, and ship it safely? So I'm hoping it came in safe condition, so I'll pull it out. He did say it probably has 15,000 hours of printing time on it. That's a lot. All right, progress on this has been going great. It has holes. Okay, looking pretty good. So I've got 4 mounting holes on the outside. Big screws will go there. 2 of them are actually locating holes, so they are a slightly bigger diameter. These are 250, these are 275. So I gotta get my gauge pins, I gotta make sure they're the right size, or actually I could use the spindle probe and measure. Maybe I'll do that. I tried to give I took a 3/8 bullnose end mill and faced the top of this, and I'm not thrilled with the finish. Maybe that tool is getting pretty chewed up. It's relatively smooth. It's fine for what I'm doing, but maybe I could do a bit better next time. Always trying to find like the best tool for the right job, for the right material, for the right condition of the tool, and yeah. Still got a couple more things to do on this side, but it's coming together. All right, my fixture is just about done on the back side. I'm just having one little problem with one of the bores, trying to get it absolutely perfect. I'm getting a little bit distracted with the 3D printer and having a lot of fun with it. I moved my bench from here to here so that I could just plug the printer right in. Let me show you. So this is a Prusa MK2 3D printer, a couple years old. I don't know how many exactly. It's seen some use. The bed is nice and worn, but still feels great, and it's clean and good and stuff. It's printing with no filament right now because I don't have a spool rack. I don't have somewhere to put the spool right now. He must have forgot to send that or didn't have it or something. I think he's got these shelf mounted with like racks where the spools just kind of go. So it's just printing nothing right now, but it's got an auto leveling bed, so the proximity sensor hits all these points and auto levels, just knows. It's pretty sweet. I don't think the bed doesn't actually move, but the machine mathematically moves your model to fit the table. It's pretty awesome. It's fast. It's much faster than my other one. I can just watch it and see already. I'm just printing a benchy right now, but it's not printing. So I gotta find somewhere to put the spool until I can 3D print spool amount like you're supposed to do. So what I figured out real quick is the spool fits right here on my microscope. So I'm going to move my microscope over and then print a spool holder. Problem solved. So I just rolled the whole card over here, moved the microscope up here real quick, and now I have my spool mounted on a rolling thingy with a basically straight shot down to the nozzle. So once this thing heats up any second now, it's going to be perfect. And then I'll download a file real quick, print some spool holder, and it might not be perfect, but it'll get me going. So I like this printer because it's got a much bigger printing size than the little one that I have at home. So that's my biggest attraction to it, as well as the quality is clearly better. Even though a lot of the stuff, the components are physically 3D printed, it's great. That's all it needs. So here it's doing the auto bed leveling. So I think it does that every single time. And it's fast. These are all features I didn't have before. It's really cool. I just remembered. Man. Of course I remember, like, immediately after taking it off. This thing's heavy. So what I was going to do, but I totally forgot until just this second, 2 seconds too late, I mean I could still do it, is this is the back side of the fixture. You can see what I ended up doing here. So some locating hole, or some mounting clip screw holes, locating holes on the outside. I outlined each piece, which looks really good. Not thrilled with the finish, but we'll do better next time. What I wanted to do was I wanted to hog this out and make it lighter and remove material from places that don't need material, and I spaced. I'm looking at the computer going, okay, is there anything else I want to do? No, that's it, let's move on. I could probably still do it. I mean, yeah, I can put it back on, I can probe one of the holes to get it located again. Do I want to do that? This thing is heavy. Or do I save it for the next one? I don't know yet. Looks really good though. 12 seconds later, I made a decision. I can always throw it on later. I don't need to do it right now. A little bit heavier is not going to ruin me right now. Move on. Next thing we got to do, pallet change. Take out the vise, put in the tombstone, which is pallet number 9. 9. Enter. Start. Man, that pallet changer does not get old. So happy I went with that option. It's like a $200,000+ option upgrade, but woo, it's gonna be good. Okay, so give me a second. So if you can see, remember a week or 2 or 3 ago, what do we do? We put that epoxy in there to try to get rid of the resonant vibration in the thing, which didn't really help too much. But anyway, covering that is what this is for. So I've got to do a little bit of milling right here to get the locating holes and everything on there. And then this guy is going to click, boom, right on there. And that's going to hold our handles. So if you can't tell by now already, I love the creative process. I love working in Fusion 360. I love working on the machine. I love fiddling. I love tweaking. But specifically in Fusion 360, one thing I don't love is the fact that the creative process is messy. It just, you gotta the way I do it, and I'm not saying I'm right, I'm probably wrong, I'm probably not the most efficient, definitely. I'm slow and methodical, but you kind of throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Except after putting in all that work, your end result is effective. It's the result you want, but it's really messy as far as a structure standpoint goes. So especially with this whole tombstone project on the Rask, I've been going through different methods of structuring the Fusion 360 file, because you have a lot of different bodies, a lot of different components, a lot of different assemblies, a lot of different files. I'm trying to keep my cam files separate from my main file, just to declutter everything. Except it's that learning process and the throwing spaghetti against the wall has just made it kind of messy, and it's breaking in a couple ways, and references are getting lost, and parts are getting flipped over in the model when they shouldn't be. And I'm gonna have to redo this from scratch. I'm just gonna have to sit down like with zero distractions for like hours and redo this, but not today. But let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. So you see all this garbage at the bottom? Everything red and yellow is bad, and this is not that bad. Although I'm only in one little component here. If I go up to the top one, there's probably way more garbage. And it's fine because it works, but when it's wrong, things like this entire assembly, all those parts and all those clamps are supposed to be flipped 180 degrees, and they were like 10 minutes ago. And I don't know what caused them to flip over, and it's a real pain in the butt to get it flipped back. But it's because I've done it poorly. You know, you keep adding and you're changing and you tweak, and then you tweak again, and then it's right and then it's wrong. So anyway, I'm just kind of annoyed by that, and that's me, that's my sloppy workflow. But what we're doing right now is we're basically machining this blue circle. So we're machining our locating features, and I've gone with a diamond shape on this one. So it's fully round from here to here, but from here to here it's a diamond. It's smaller. But this is my full radius, and I'll show you why in a second. This is our other locating pin. This one is completely round, and it should be a according to that, it's 2745, so 5/10 under 2750. So the theory between having a round and a diamond pin, instead of two perfectly round pins, two perfectly round pins will over-constrain the assembly, theoretically, depending on your tolerance stack. If you want to get really tight and really perfect, you don't want a bad tolerance stack. So anyway, round pin over here does your rotation, and this pin over here only does rotational limiting, I guess. So this one does kind of all of your, you know, this way and this way. Well, yeah, let's go X and Y location, and this one just does your rotation, keeps it in line. So this is how round and diamond kind of works. And then you have your diamond pin over here that only restricts the rotation. It leaves a little bit of room for lengthwise fit up, whatever you call it, because these are clearanced. That makes sense? Anyway, 4 of you are gonna appreciate that. 10 of you are gonna be like, yeah, I already knew that. That's fine. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I gotta hog all this out. I gotta mill these perfectly so that they're the exact right tolerance. We'll come in, we'll probe it, we'll make it nice, and then I gotta thread mill the holes and then chamfer everything, and all my code for that is right here. So all this blue stuff is what makes that magic happen. I've already put it into complete. There's some errors because I did it wrong. So I gotta, yeah, I'm working on it. So I didn't have time to look up a spool holder mount thing yet, but this system is working great, super temporarily. I'm just printing one of the factory files on the SD card right now. This is the Triceratops, and the finish on it is amazing. That kind of 3D modeled surface right there is quite pretty. I didn't have a good first layer adhesion, so the squirrelies are not good. I gotta calibrate and level this thing properly. But it's cool, it's just good to see it work. The heated bed on my old printer broke, so I just never used it anymore. This thing is nice and hot, and I can feel a lot of heat actually radiating off of it. Some people put a box over top of it to keep that heat inside and not waste it all and use so much. So, assuming that's accurate, we're only halfway done after 2.5 hours. So I guess I'm leaving this tonight. I wonder if the heated bed turns off after it's... I think it does, yeah. It turns off after the print is done. So anyway, 3D printing is awesome. If you guys aren't into it or haven't been into it or know nothing about it, it's really cool. This printer, brand new, is under $800. And I got this for free. And it's totally awesome. The late nights are catching up to me. I'm slower. I'm sore and stiff in my back. It is currently almost 8 o'clock, 7:40. I'm out of here 8:15 tonight, so nice and early night. Go home, spend time with the family, have a really good sleep, and yeah, however, okay, I wanted to have a set of handles done tonight at the very, very least, because I only have 40 minutes. I am ready to machine where the pallet goes, so let's do that. All right, this is why we use this magical program called Complete. See how that guy's red right there and how that guy is gonna kiss that thing? Not good. Not good. So when trying to machine this little finish section right down there, those two are gonna touch. So I need to use a longer tool. Ooh, I know just the one. I just broke an end mill in the current. I don't break a lot of end mills anymore, probably just because I'm so careful on this machine. And it broke because I was dumb. In Fusion, you have these operations. So you use the big tool to do this, and then step down to the next size tool and do this, and use this to drill a hole and this to thread mill. And I had deleted the wrong two tool paths. I meant to delete one of them, so it roughs it out with a big tool, and then it's supposed to rough it out with the small tool and then finish, but it roughs it out with the big tool and then finishes with the small tool, and I heard it get loud and then just snap. It was an 1/8 inch end mill, so there's probably no damage anywhere. But yeah, it's gone. Look at how close this is. Look at that clearance. That's pretty tight. Somebody brought up a really good point that you see how the black collet at the end there is it's a separate component from the main shaft. In Fusion, in my model, I don't actually have the collet modeled up with the holder, and that's bad. And thank you to whoever made that comment a couple videos ago, because I need to do that. There's most situations that will not be a problem, but it's something I have to do to be right. But you can see they're basically the same diameter, with the black collet being even a little bit smaller. So I'm safe in that direction, but there's some situations where it could get me in trouble. But right there, the little tool is supposed to come in and zip, 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 but it just went, couldn't handle it anymore, and just said, nope, I'm not having any of that, and I broke. Okay, I would love to replace the tool, fix it, get back into it, finish it up, but I'm out of time for tonight. It's 8:40, it's my cutoff. I need to go. I got some stuff to do before 9 o'clock, so I gotta go. I shall finish you tomorrow. And leave the printer going tonight, finish up that T-Rex, looks like, or the Triceratops, looks like it's almost done. And yeah, things are going great. So I haven't finished a Rask by the end of June. I'm mildly disappointed, but I've made tremendous progress, and I feel really good about that. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't push. So I'm really happy that that I did push. Most of the work that I did was groundwork. From here on out, it's going to be relatively a lot easier than it has been the past 2 weeks. So I don't know. I suck at timelines as well. I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how much work is left. I know what I have to do left, but I can't tell you how many days it's going to take. Not a lot. Guaranteed within 2 weeks I'm selling a Rask. There's more to do to get them into full production, but you got to set the groundwork, so that's what I'm doing right now. So anyway, guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna get a good long sleep tonight. Later, bye.